time for the Susan Taylor Podcast, where we discuss the yoga of mind, medicine, and healing. Author of Feeling Good Matters, Sexual Radiance, and the Vital Energy Program, Dr. Taylor imparts authentic knowledge and practical tools that inspire, educate, and empower us to be a healing force for positive change. So join us and take your life and our planet to the next level.
Most Americans feel worn out and exhausted, a feeling that has increased since the pandemic started. Experiencing news fatigue, worry fatigue, and even food fatigue, that's just to name a few, we're all experiencing these things. With nearly 80% of the people in America reporting that the COVID-19 pandemic has caused them stress, it's now time to venture out, but we need to have a newly found energy and a strong immune system. Hello, I'm Dr. Susan Taylor, and today we will discuss some of the elements that you can use to build your energy and immunity as you venture out to enjoy the summer sun. You know, as the weather warms and we're all being inspired to get our life moving, there are some things that we can incorporate into our lifestyle that may help. For those who may feel tired and exhausted, especially over the last year or so, as we venture out, we have to make sure that our immune system is strong and our energy levels are optimal. Remember, because low energy is at the root of all health issues. In other words, you need energy for cellular activities to run smoothly. So I like to use a multi-prong approach, and that's really our best solution in keeping our energy high and our immunity strong. Your diet and gut health and vitamin D status and emotional and mental health are very important components to optimize your energy levels and including your immune system too. So while I discuss other options to upregulate your energy and immunity, I do believe it's important to begin with a healthy gut, and that's what I'll start with today. Because an estimated about 80% of our immune system is located in our gut, so supporting digestive health is essential, and it's a primary factor in regulating our energy and defending our body against all diseases, even our allergies. Several important nutritional factors affect our gut, including grains, sugar, glyphosate, and even genetically engineered foods. Many grains contain anti-nutrients, changing our gut, metabolizing into sugar, and often they're highly contaminated with chemicals, which has actually been shown, like glyphosate, to trigger intestinal problems by damaging our gut flora. Genetically modified foods tend to be challenging to our gut health, more so than conventional foods. The key to healing and sealing our gut is to really introduce healthier foods, eliminating inflammation, and really to support a healthy balance of gut bacteria. You know, I suggest to my clients, eat foods that are good for their specific constitution. Because each of us is unique. Even though we share the same organ systems, we have livers, we have large intestine, small intestine, etc., we are all unique in our biochemistry. I like to suggest, though, that traditionally fermented foods is one of the essentials that I usually recommend. It helps to reseed our gut microbiome and provide essential nutrients for beneficial bacteria. So the first is really to adjust your diet for good gut health. The second point I'd like to talk about is some supportive herbs and supplements. There's a vast array of supplements and herbs that you can use, but I just picked out 4 that seem to be hot off the press. You know, nature does provide a number of compounds that do support our immune system. And when our immune system is supported, our energy is increased. And as I said, I've picked a few popular ones, and there are many more worth investigating. The first one was vitamin D. We've heard a lot about that. Optimizing our vitamin D level is crucial as it helps to really upregulate our immune system. Ideally, you'll get vitamin D from sensible sun exposure. However, if you live in a climate where it's difficult to get enough sun exposure, we consider using oral vitamin D3 supplements. We know that vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it doesn't dissolve in water, so it's absorbed best in your bloodstream when you really eat it with high-fat foods. For example, avocados, nuts, seeds, full-fat dairy products, and eggs are really nutritious sources of fat that help boost the vitamin D absorption. So we want to keep that in mind. Quercetin is another component that we find. It's a strong antioxidant, and it's demonstrated to be antiviral as well as anti-allergy properties. It has those properties. This flavonoid is found in several plants, including onions, apples, green tea, grapes. It stabilizes the mast cell membrane, and it prevents the release of inflammatory agents and histamine. It's very good during allergy season. But the effectiveness of this flavonoid is enhanced by the presence of vitamin C. Some supplements are sold with a combination of quercetin and vitamin C together, because vitamin C is another supplement that I have done a lot of research on. It's known as ascorbic acid. It's a water-soluble vitamin that's essential cofactor in several enzymatic reactions, and it has been linked with lower risk of high blood pressure, stroke, and coronary heart disease. Now you say, oh, I was talking about essentials to support our energy. Well, if we have these other underlying mechanisms being supported with the use of certain supplements, then our energy is increased. We do know that with vitamin C, we have evidence that suggests it may, reduce heart injury as well as heart attack or even cardiac procedures. It's also another natural antihistamine. I'm bringing that up now because we're coming out and we're into spring and allergies are upon us. So this vitamin C, you could find it in fruits and vegetables, and of course in supplemental form. I always like to get things from whole foods, but supplements are also important if you don't have access to that. And so we want to be thinking on those terms. And then I put in what I like to cook with is turmeric. Turmeric is from the ginger family, and it's a commonly used spice, and it's used in traditional medicine. Historically, it was used in Ayurvedic medicine as well as traditional Chinese medicine. And the main ingredient in turmeric is curcumin, which gives its rhizome its yellow color. And that's also an anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, anti-tumor, also having antioxidant properties. Not directly, again, related to energy as if you were to drink a cup of coffee, but the fact is it reduces inflammation and has antioxidant properties. And it adds flavor to food. That's why, with curry powder, it adds that flavor. But it can also play an important role in digesting our food, and I was speaking about gut health earlier on, so keep that in mind. It does contribute to healthy digestion as a result of its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. And it's used in digestive healing for when you're looking at Ayurvedic medicine. And Western medicine has recognized it, that it does help with gut inflammation and gut permeability. And those two measures really help us measure what our digestive efficiency is all about. So it appears that there are health benefits to including turmeric in your diet, and you want to keep that in mind. But always note that it does have some side effects, so for some people it might not be worth taking. Everything has to be done in balance based on your constitution. So let's move to a third component, and I say use a Neti Pot. That's another way of supporting your energy, because that little neti pot with a spout helps to really cleanse the nose, because your nose serves as a gateway to bring energy into your body and mind. So keeping the airway passages clear and free of dust and other particles is really a skillful way to keep your energy source running smoothly. The pot is filled with distilled saline solution, and that saline solution, it's water with non-iodized salt, and it's administered through the nostrils. And the flow, it's flowing through the nostrils. I know personally I do it twice a day minimum, morning and evening, and sometimes in the middle of the day during allergy season, or if I've been out and about and with the whole COVID pandemic. When I go out, I always come back, wash my eyes, wash my nose, and just to keep things as clear as possible. So it does clear the nasal passages. And I describe in my book, Feeling Good Matters, details about that on how to use it and what to do. We don't use tap water, for example. You want to use either distilled water or water that's clean, because you know, you have to just be really careful what you put in your nose. So be very careful of that. Now, we do know that our stomach acid kills like an amoeba quickly, but it may live and reproduce in your nasal passage if you're not using purified water. So remember, the salt solution does loosen the mucus in your nasal passages, and it may remove the outside invaders that have been embedded. And the treatment is easy, and it's cost effective for everyone. Many of you might already be doing something like that. So I always say consider trying a Neti Pot to determine how effective it may be for your individual situation. And the fourth component I came up with to venture out is having a daily meditation practice. We need to tune up our mind, because remember, all the last several episodes I've been talking about psychological immunity. When we're centered in the self as opposed to being self-centered, we become very strong. We don't allow outside invaders of fear, worry, anger, animosity, any of the negative things that are flying around to enter our space, our personal space. So with a systematic daily practice, you can level up your energy and immunity. It enables you, as I said, tune up your mind, and in turn your body and brain really reap the benefits. Studies show, you've heard me over and over, so I won't spend too much time on this, but studies have shown that meditation decreases stress, supports hormone production, and supporting energy. And, it helps with growth hormone, melatonin, DHEA. So it does directly help with energy restoration, energy building, as well as enhancing immunity. I tell everyone, take the time to learn the skill. We offer classes. In my books, I've talked about it. I have audio recordings to get you started. And, take a course or something if you want to learn without a class. Let me know. If you don't want to take a class, let me know. I work with people one-on-one, and we talk about stress reduction and put everything together in one nice container and package to fine-tune a practice to meet your specific needs. So just let me know. I can always assist you in the process or direct you to someone who will help you. Always consider using a multifaceted approach, incorporating diet, as I mentioned, for gut health, and then herbs and supplements, your diet, meditation, using a Neti Pot. That is always before meditation, so your passages are clear, so that energy can be entering your body, brain, and mind. And all those practices work synergistically to give you a more complete container of energy and enhanced immunity. And as I always say, do your research. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you'd like to get the podcast automatically, it's available on your favorite podcast apps like iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and others. And you can also visit susantaylor.org and click on the subscribe button. Check out our YouTube channel, Susan Taylor PhD TV, where you can subscribe to the channel and get notifications on new content. And if you haven't done so already, check out Return to Radiance on Amazon.com. It's a program that you can use especially to level up your energy and happiness. And it's also a perfect gift for friends, family, or even colleagues. Contact us at susantaylor.org with any questions, comments, or feedback. We'll be broadcasting all the questions and comments on our YouTube channel, so subscribe today to Susan Taylor PhD TV, and you could stay in the loop. And if you know anyone that would like this podcast, please share it. Sharing helps support our community. And again, thank you for listening. The Susan Taylor podcast does come out every week. And again, I would love to hear from you. And until next time, remain calm, consciously aware, living in the moment.